The Bible, a collection of sacred texts, holds a pivotal role in the religious, historical, and cultural development of Western civilization. We will explore its origins, structure, and effect to appreciate its profound influence and as the primary source for our own theological reflections. The Bible is divided into two main sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament, also known as the Hebrew Bible, is a compilation of texts written over approximately a millennium, beginning around the 12th century BCE. These texts were primarily written in Hebrew, with some portions in Aramaic, and they encompass a variety of genres, including historical narratives, poetry, legal codes, and prophetic writings. The New Testament, written in the 1st century CE, is primarily composed in Greek and focuses on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ and the early Christian Church. The Old Testament contains 39 books, starting with the Pentateuch, or Torah, which includes Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These books lay the foundation for the biblical narrative, detailing the creation of the world, the history of the patriarchs, and the formation of the Israelite nation. Following the Torah are the historical books, which recount the history of Israel from the conquest of Canaan to the Babylonian exile. The wisdom literature, including Psalms, Proverbs, and Job, offers poetic and philosophical reflections on human existence. Finally, the prophetic books contain the messages of prophets who spoke on behalf of God, addressing the moral and spiritual state of Israel. The New Testament comprises 27 books, beginning with the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which narrate the life, ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection of Jesus. The Acts of the Apostles follows, detailing the early spread of Christianity. The Pauline epistles, letters written by the Apostle Paul to various Christian communities, provide theological insights and practical advice. The general epistles, written by other apostles, offer additional guidance and encouragement. The New Testament concludes with the book of Revelation, an apocalyptic vision of the end times. The Bible's influence extends far beyond its religious significance. Theologically, it provides the foundation for the beliefs and practices of Judaism and Christianity, shaping their doctrines, ethical systems, and rituals. Culturally, the Bible has inspired countless works of art, literature, and music, influencing Western thought and creativity. Its narratives and themes have permeated various aspects of culture, from legal systems and political ideologies to social norms and moral values. Moreover, the Bible has been a source of controversy and debate throughout history. Interpretations of its texts have led to diverse and sometimes conflicting understandings, resulting in different denominations within Christianity and varying sects within Judaism. The process of translation and transmission of the Bible has also sparked scholarly discussions, particularly regarding the nature of its manuscripts. For those unacquainted with the Bible, understanding its origins, structure, and significance is crucial to appreciating its lasting impact on Western civilization. As an academic endeavor, studying the Bible not only enriches our knowledge of religious traditions, but also offers insights into the historical and cultural developments that have shaped our world. Through critical analysis and contextual exploration, we can uncover the profound ways in which this ancient text continues to influence contemporary society. And ultimately, by careful study of these sacred texts, we are able to theologically reflect on our lives and our world. The first section of the Bible, as you probably know it, is often called the Pentateuch. The Pentateuch, also known as the Torah, comprises the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These texts narrate events from the creation of the world to the death of Moses, covering significant milestones such as the Exodus from Egypt, the revelation of the law at Sinai, and the Israelites' wanderings in the wilderness. The Pentateuch is notable for its blend of historical narratives and detailed legislative codes. This combination is unique to the Mosaic period and integral to understanding the Hebrew tradition. While primarily historical, these books are interwoven with laws and commandments that guided the Israelites' religious and social life. The documentary hypothesis, proposed by Julius Wellhausen, suggests that the Pentateuch is composed of 4 main sources, each with distinct characteristics and origins. This hypothesis helps explain the diverse literary styles and theological perspectives found within these texts. First, what Wellhausen called the Jehovah or Yahwist source. Originating around the 10th century BCE in Judah, this source uses the name Yahweh, YHWH, for God. It features a vivid narrative style with anthropomorphic depictions of God and focuses on the southern kingdom of Judah. The Yahwist source includes many detailed human interest stories in Genesis and Exodus. Second, what Wellhausen called the Elohist source. Dating to the 8th century BCE, the Elohist source comes from the northern kingdom of Israel. It uses the name Elohim for God until the name Yahweh is revealed to Moses in Exodus 3. This source emphasizes moral and ethical concerns and frequently employs dreams and angels as means of divine communication, portraying God as more distant and transcendent. The third source Wellhausen called the Deuteronomist source. Primarily associated with Deuteronomy and parts of Joshua, this source is believed to date to the late 7th century BCE, possibly during the reign of King Josiah. The Deuteronomist stresses the centralization of worship in Jerusalem and emphasizes covenant fidelity and obedience to God's law. Lastly is the priestly source. Attributed to a priestly group concerned with rituals, genealogies, and cultic regulations, the priestly source dates to around the 6th century BCE. It is characterized by a formal, repetitive, and precise style, encompassing much of Leviticus and parts of Genesis, Exodus, and Numbers, with a focus on legal and ceremonial aspects of Israelite religion. These sources were eventually combined into a single narrative by a later editor or redactor, resulting in the composite text recognized today as the Pentateuch. Building on Wellhausen's work, scholars such as Hermann Gunkel and Hugo Gressmann developed form criticism, which examines the literary forms and genres within the text to uncover their original life settings, Sitz and Leben. This method highlights the oral and communal origins of many Pentateuchal narratives, suggesting they were passed down through generations before being committed to writing. Later scholars, including Ivan Engnell, Sigmund Mowinckel, Albrecht Alt, Martin Noth, and H. Rowley, further refined these critical methods. Their research focused on tracing the development of these traditions from their oral beginnings to their final written forms, emphasizing the dynamic and evolving nature of the biblical text. The Pentateuch is foundational to biblical history and theology. It establishes the identity of the people of God and outlines their relationship with the divine. Key theological themes such as creation, covenant, law, and divine guidance are introduced and elaborated upon in these texts, forming the basis for later Jewish and Christian religious traditions.